Good Monday morning, everybody. It is a beautiful 10th of February 2025, and we're going to be doing something a little different today. We're going to be running the new tractor because we've got a project to do while the weather's nice. When you have daytime temperatures in the 30s and all of a sudden you get one that's nice and sunny and about 60, you tend to take advantage of that. So that's what I'm doing today. So we'll be right back. Hey, where do fish go on vacation? Any ideas? Finland. Well, welcome back, everybody, especially to our previous subscribers and to our new ones. We've picked up 3 or 4 in the last week or so. So I thank you. And as the rest of you, right down there, go ahead and hit that big red thing that says subscribe. So, Dave, what are we doing today? Well, today we are not working on, like I said a minute ago, the H or the LSB. We are going to be installing that south fence that goes into the parking lot. So anybody with a 1-ton pickup and a gooseneck trailer hauling in tractors or equipment or whatever has an easier access to get into the place, besides me pulling out the fence every year once or twice to do this show. Yeah, so that's what we're up to today. Well, the next trick to do is to keep these things level so they don't fall off the bucket. And I'm not going to go around beside the little pickup because I don't want them sliding off into the pickup. So what I'm going to do, or attempt to do, is go right down through that north driveway, and hopefully those bushes don't hang up on these things too terrible bad and spin them around and knock them off. So I'll have to tilt and level as I go. Yeah, here could be the problem right here, because I'm going to be going downhill, so that means the panels or the gates are going to be going downhill. And see, that's hanging up over here on the left side already. So I'm going to have to back up, raise the thing up, and tilt down. Keep those panels somewhat level so they don't come crashing back into the windshield here over the top of the forks. Sadly, I don't have an auto level feature on this bucket. Now we're into the bush a little bit, but it's the little bitty branches over here on the right side, so we should be okay. Yeah, I could have strapped them down. This would have been done already. But, you know, why bother? I know you probably can't see them because GoPros have a nasty habit of not being able to zoom in on anything. But the mountains up here right above the horizon there, they're not real tall looking from this angle. Yeah, just absolutely covered in ice and snow yet. And the 2 big mountains over by Oakley, over that away, yeah, absolutely snow covered and frigid. Like I said, yeah, we've had daytime highs in the 30s here lately, and today for some reason, and tomorrow we're hitting right around the 60, 62 degree mark. Beautiful weather. I'm out here in my short sleeves, and yeah, unfortunately today's my only day off from the in-town job. We will be having a meeting this coming Saturday with the president of the Antique Tractor Puller Association deal, the High Desert Tractor Pullers. He will be here along with Sam Coulter, a novelist, a musician. He will probably be talking with us a little bit if we can get him here. And Rick from Lone Star Catering will be here, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the food that he's going to be serving on the 17th of May. So yeah, if the weather isn't bad and those three guys can make it, we will be discussing what you will be seeing and tasting here at the Nelson Creek Spring Fling 2025 show. Yeah. Today, though, what we're focusing on is right in front of us, and yeah, where we're going to put the gates in at here. I don't know if we're going to pull that one, and that one, and put them in there, or we're going to go over one that way, or just what yet. Now, to keep from getting up into the rose bushes and that berm and that sort of thing, and a few of the walnut trees that are growing over here, I think what we're going to do is come off of that post right there. So 1, 2, 3, and then that one stays put. So this 8-foot rail here that I'm filming, that 8-footer, and that one will all come out, and that'll make the 24 feet that those two 12-foot panels are going to supply. Well, I set the gates where I thought I wanted them, but I'm thinking they're too far to the east and they're going to end up into the pond. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move this one down to the post here behind the rose bush here. And that tree right there is the one that guy killed on me last year, one of the two. So we're going to turn the tractor around, hook onto that, and see if we can't pull that out of there and clean out some of this old-fashioned wild rose bush right here, so we can get in there and put in the posts for the gates. Yeah. Well, it broke part of it loose, looks like. Get down underneath that root ball right there. You can just barely see it. Get that thing up out of there. Just about. There we go. And then we'll push this rose bush back a bit if we can as well, so we can gain access to that post right there, so we can get it pulled out and put in a railroad tie there for the gate. Yeah. Change the game plan a little bit. Instead of putting in another post here and one back there, we're just going to use the existing post because they're going to get left there anyway. And I was just going to set another, like a railroad tie on the inside of them. But I think what we'll do is just put those fence gates right into those posts, and then we'll run a diagonal brace from the top of the hinge post down to the next post, help keep everything square and level and whatnot, and we'll be good to go. You can maybe be able to see how rutted this driveway to the field's entrance is here. That's what I was getting stuck in, or slipping in. I wasn't really getting stuck, I was just sliding in it. It is just way too damp right there to get any kind of traction. So, even with four-wheel drive. So I went around on the other side of the fence using the bucket and popped all the posts up that I'm going to remove, and we'll get the rails out of here and the post. We'll reuse them elsewhere. As many of you know that have played with these metal gates before, that bottom hinge loop, strap, whatever you want to call it, is welded to the gate. So that's at a fixed height right there. So I did some measurements, figured out where I wanted that bottom pin to go into the post, and drilled it out with a 1/2 inch drill bit, walled it around a little bit so that it fit the 5/8 pin, or the part that screws into the post for that lower pin. And now we're twisting it in. This piece right here on that other pin that I'm screwing in attaches into that loop down there, and that's what holds up the gate. This top one merely adjusts the tilt of it if it needs to be tilted. One of the easiest ways to screw these in is to use the box end of a combination wrench and just turn it in, yeah, like I'm doing here. Now I don't have a plumb bob with me, so what I'm going to do is hold that tape measure about as level as I can get it, and we're going to select a height right about here to put the hole in for the top hinge piece. It's about lined up there, so yep, lined up with this crack right here in the middle of the board, weather crack. At that height, we'll drill the hole in there and then screw in that pin for that one, and then we can adjust the gate up and it'll hold itself right there. So yeah, here we go. Something kind of like that. And we take the pin. Now this one you want pointing down, with that pin pointing down. That way somebody can't come along and just lift the gate off without having to use a tool to loosen up this hinge bracket that's adjustable on this one. There we go. I'm going to turn it so the pins are pointing towards each other a little bit. Something kind of like that. And let's see how we did here. Like I said, that bottom loop is welded to the gate, and it sits on that shoulder on that pin down there. And this one is adjustable, and I got it going, the gate going downhill. But that's fine because the weight on the gate is going to end up pulling that way. So let me turn this board down here and get it a little bit more uphill. Let's see if that does it. Because that'll compensate for a little bit of sag. Ooh, almost. Maybe I can lift it and get that up on there. Yeah, there we go. There. Yeah. And we'll tap this up in place with the farmer's hammer. Like I said, this pin up here on top points down to keep somebody from coming by and just lifting this whole gate off of the post and the hinge pins and absconding with whatever's behind the gate or the gate itself. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll tighten this part of the hinge up now, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now, the other side, the bottom pin is very important because it dictates the height that the gate's going to sit at. Okie dokie, there it is, all installed. Yes, indeedy. Yeah, looking pretty good. The only thing you got to remember about doing one of these gates is that the bottom pin on that side, hinge pin that is, to that one over there have to be dead level across. That way your gates are going to hang the same height. Now the top pins on both sides and that adjustable strap can adjust the this way of the gates, so they sit fairly even right there in the middle like that does. And this is for this show coming up in May only. This gate will only be open to pickups and trailers that are hauling in tractors and equipment for the tractor bunch of the deal. The other gate that's right down here that has the green paint on it, that'll be the entrance gate for the vendors prior to 9:30. Vendors after 9:30, you're out of luck. You're not getting in on the property. That will become the exit gate for this show only for the visitors to the show. The main gate that they will be entering from will be over on the north-south road, and that gate won't open until 10 a.m. until everybody's gone. That'll be when it'll close, but the show ends at 3, so sometime after that, that gate will close. So keep that in mind. This one's for the pickups and trailers, equipment haulers, that sort of thing. The green gate down here behind us by the tall pine trees, that is for the vendor entrance only on Saturday the 17th of May between 7 a.m. and 9:30. Then it's closed. Then you're out of luck if you're a vendor. You're not coming into the show. So yeah, anyway, just a little something to keep in mind. They say fences make great neighbors. But what else makes great neighbors, besides the neighbor's wife, is a good egress point, namely a gate, especially for when her husband comes home early. Yeah. Well, that's going to conclude today's little project we got going on right here, putting in this fence. This is something, well, the gate. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and since the COVID thing came along and shut everything down, this got put on the back burner. But I was getting tired of pulling out all those fence posts and the rails and having to find somewhere to put them and hide them and put them back in. So this is going to be a lot better for me in the long run. Plus, when I get to doing hay production out here in the south field, which is going to be the parking area, it's going to be easier to get the tractor and equipment in through here on occasion.